What is up guys, Taiki here, and welcome to Farmers of the Week, where I'll be going over the farms I'm currently in as well as the farms I'm watching. I'll also be discussing some airdrops, so if you like the content, please like and subscribe and leave a comment in the comment section below, so let's get started. Okay, so the markets are looking incredibly hot. October has been the best month for me, like not even close. My Avalanche to Phantom rotation has been crazy. For those that don't know, I rotated from Avalanche to Phantom here. I got a 2x. Well, that price of Avalanche hasn't really done much, right? This month has been crazy, and it's hard not to feel euphoric. And obviously, when Bitcoin and ETH is at all-time highs, I'm sure everyone's portfolio, or most people, like their portfolio is near all-time highs too. And if you've been in crypto long enough, it's hard not to feel some form of PTSD, especially when Shiba flipped Terra, right, in CoinGecko. This is kind of ridiculous. And obviously, like back in May, like the temporary top was marked by Dogecoin going crazy, and like no one else was like buying Bitcoin or ETH, and so when Bitcoin and ETH crashed, everything else crashed harder. So it kind of scares me that there's like a lot of retail speculation going into Dogecoins. But one metric that I do look at that might provide some insight is like my YouTube data, because my YouTube has grown a lot, but if you actually look at the data, like my viewership hasn't really changed, right? And maybe this is because like less people care about like Phantom, Avalanche, Luna than like Dogecoins or whatever. But like even back then, like back in May and June, when I had like roughly 15,000 subscribers, like I was getting more views back here. And maybe this was like when a lot of new money came in, and like when they got wrecked, they never came back. Maybe that's happening. I mean, I wouldn't trade around this information, but if you also look at my subscriber count, it's kind of crazy, right? I wouldn't count the peak here just because this is when I did the collaboration video with Benjamin Cohen. But I was obviously there's going to be diminishing returns. Like the bigger my channel gets, the more new subscribers I can receive. But there's not that much new viewership, right? And maybe this is because DeFi yield farming isn't really like well known yet, right? People don't really like respect farmers and whatnot. But I argue that like farmers make the most money because farmers always know what the next rotation is, right? Like Avalanche, I knew because I'm a farmer. So Phantom, I knew it because I'm a farmer, and like people that were nimble enough were able to capture some upside on the Harmony ecosystem as well. But there's that, and there's a lot of bullish narratives for the Phantom ecosystem as well. One of the most, I guess, one of the easiest narratives, right? That's going to get retweeted everywhere is this narrative where at $2.71 the Phantom incentive program is worth over $1 billion, because with all these incentive programs, these foundations, they're not using dollars, right? They're just using the Phantom tokens that they have in the reserve. So if the price of these Phantom tokens go up, then obviously these incentive programs are going to be worth a lot more, and it could be a bullish narrative to get people to buy these tokens. But I'm not a fan of these narratives, right? Because any narrative that becomes more and more bullish as the price of the token goes up is a dangerous narrative, in my opinion, because I feel like that's the type of narrative that gets people wrecked, right? It's like, oh, the token's going up, it's more bullish. Right? That's not. I don't think that's how it works. So I'm personally going to be taking profits into Phantom soon. It's been a great trade for me. Like I'm super grateful for the Phantom ecosystem. I still argue that they have the best farms, but I'm gonna start taking profits, right? Just to be responsible. I've also been like levered long Phantom for a couple weeks now, so I think it's a responsible thing to do. Another bullish narrative that could take on is the Phantom Developer Conference. It's happening right now, actually, in Abu Dhabi, and I'm not really sure like what's happening in here, but Andre Cronje, who's one of the most famous developers in all of DeFi, said that, hey, like I'm trying really hard not to tweet about Phantom because he doesn't want to leak anything before the conference. So maybe this is another bullish narrative. To be honest, for myself, like I have no desire to sell the top, right? I just want to capture the immediate move, and though I do think that Phantom is technically undervalued relative to other L1s, I'm fine missing out on future upside just so I can like raise my stablecoin stack, because one of my goals for Q4 was to have at least 10% of my portfolio into stablecoins, and given the recent pump across everything, my stablecoins are getting pretty light. And people underestimate the power of stablecoins in crypto and DeFi, right? Because not only do stablecoins mitigate your downside risk in crypto, you can also earn yield on your stablecoins. My second favorite farm in all of crypto, right after DeFi Kingdoms, is the Spell farm on Abracadabra on the Phantom ecosystem. What you can do is you can click that button, you can go to Curve on Phantom, right, and deposit like Magic Internet Money, Tether, or USDC on here, and then you can stake your your Curve LP tokens here and earned 42.69%. That's a funny number. 42.69% on SPELL, right? And obviously, in hindsight, I was better off like buying SPELL tokens with dollars than like farming it. But obviously, hindsight is 2020, and any stable coins that I can muster up is literally being thrown in here, right? Because I'm bullish SPELL. I've made it clear that I'm bullish SPELL. I don't want to buy SPELL just to mitigate my downside risk, right? Because I'm like super exposed to like some altcoins. So I'm just really comfortable just taking any stable coins that I can muster up, put it in here, right? Using Bitcoin and ETH as collateral, borrowing stable coins, putting it in here, taking profits into Phantom, throwing it in here, and just trying to accumulate as many SPELL tokens that I can without actually buying the tokens, right? Farmer mentality. Okay, so that was one. That's one of the farms I'm super excited for in the Phantom ecosystem. The second farm that I wanted to bring to your attention was Beethoven-X. They are a balancer fork on the Phantom ecosystem. They actually have a lot of TVL here. Let me move my camera. Yeah, it's 260 million TVL, which is pretty insane. The price it beats is $1.50. I think the market cap of this is like under 50 million, which is kind of weird because Spooky Swap is at over 100 million market cap with $500 million in TVL. Spirit Swap over 100 million market cap with a little over 300 million in TVL. Obviously, Boo and Spirit has more utility than the Beats token, right? Like you can't really do anything with Beats, and you can't just look at TVL and like buy things, right? That's not how crypto works. Like if crypto worked that way, then like there would be no alpha, right? Like you can't just look at TVL to buy tokens. But I still think it's a pretty good farm. I personally like I'm not in this. Like I don't want exposure to the Beats token, but if you can farm it with just being an LP, it could be something to look into. I'm not a fan of being a liquidity provider in this type of bullish environment, right? Because impermanent loss isn't really worth it, right? You're just like much better off capturing the capital gains upside, when the markets are just like in all-time highs. But because this is a balancer fork, it kind of gives you like uneven exposure. You don't have to have a 50-50 ratio to be an LP. The Phantom USDC pool has a 70%, 30%, I guess weighting. So, I guess you're still taking on decent Phantom exposure while still mitigating your downside a little bit while earning 68% APR. And there are other farms too. With Balancer, you can also gain exposure to like more than two tokens. There's this my USDC pool, stablecoin pool, earning 45%. Could be interesting. Dance of the degens. Me personally, I don't really see any reasons to like be a liquidity provider for like 8 assets. This just means that like you're unsure of what's happening in the markets, so you're just like throwing money around in a bunch of different things. But it could be something to look into, and I do think it's a pretty good farm. Okay, that being said, let's talk about the Terra ecosystem. And I haven't been covering the Terra ecosystem just because, there's not that many new things you can do, right? It's a great ecosystem. You can earn great yield. There's a lot of airdrops coming actually, which I'll go over. But one thing that I changed was that, like this net APR for Terra or Anchor used to be like 90%, and now it's down to 3% just because there's so much more money going into this, which is fine. So this wasn't really worth it for me. So I repaid my loan. I got rid of my mirror position as well, right? I was short farming gold, long farming Galaxy, no longer doing it. I just pulled out, and I'm just like, my UST is still here. It's always been here. And the Anchor tokens that I've been farming is being staked here. And if you remember, Nexus protocol was going to airdrop tokens to Anchor governance stakers. The website's kind of buggy, so it's not like letting me scroll down and up. But oh god. Okay, anyways, I'm not going to go into the website. But Nexus was going to give airdrops to anyone that staked Anchor tokens back in September. You can't do it now, right? Because you're too late. But I was airdropped Nexus tokens, and I'm sure a lot of you were airdropped Nexus tokens as well if you were an Anchor governance staker. So let me just move my camera so I don't dox my wallet address. So if you go to this website called terradrops.io, it allows you to claim all your airdrops in one click, and kabam, there it is. I have roughly $550 of Nexus tokens just airdropped to me. So, I think this might be the start of Terra season, just because there's a lot of airdrops planned actually. Second of which is the ASTRO Airdrop. This is something I'm super excited for. Oh god, what is going on? Let me. Oh lord. Okay, hold on. There you go. That's what I'm trying to do. Okay, so Astroport is an automated market maker in the Terra ecosystem. Right now there's TerraSwap, there's Mirror, but it's kind of janky, right? Like it's not the best experience. But Astro is going to be a new one. They're backed by Delphi Digital, and there's a lot of hype around this. And if you actually look into this airdrop that they're going to do, what they're going to do is, if you scroll down here, they're going to be retroactively airdropping this Astro token to historical participants in major TeFi protocols. So TeFi meaning Terra Finance, right? And there are only two major TeFi protocols, Anchor and Mirror. So if you used Anchor and Mirror for the past couple weeks or 2 months, or whatever, I don't think it mentions like when the snapshot was taken. But I've been in the ecosystem since July, so I'm sure I'll be airdrop some tokens, and just letting you know that, hey, like I'm gonna be farming this token because I do think that Astro is gonna be a good token. Generally, tokens for the #1 decentralized exchange on any ecosystem tends to do well, and I think it's a pretty safe bet that Astro is gonna outperform like Mirror tokens and whatnot. So there's that. Another token, or I guess another protocol that I'm super excited for is Mars, right? I'm a huge money markets guy. Essentially, my entire rotation strategy across like all these ecosystems has been like buy tokens for ecosystems that have a trusted money market, and that's kind of worked, right? Which is pretty wild. But Mars is going to be an insane money market protocol. You can use AUST as collateral. I heard you can use stocks as collateral. I heard they're gonna launch sometime in Q4. Like I have no idea, but when this comes out, I'll be aping in for sure. Okay, so let's discuss another airdrop. That's a lot of airdrops happening. If you've been an early user in these ecosystems, you're just gonna get a bunch of these tokens. But this is in the Solana ecosystem, right? I rarely talk about Solana. In fact, I bridged to the Solana ecosystem for the first time just so I can get this airdrop. So there's this thing called there's this thing called Apricot Financed that launched October 19th, where early users will be retroactively rewarded for lending, borrowing, and farming activities. So the team mentioned that there will be retroactively airdropping tokens. I'm assuming it's going to be an airdrop, right? Retroactively rewarded. So for the first couple of weeks, so like 2 to 3 weeks, early users will get airdropped. And what Apricot is a leveraged yield farming protocol. When I did the Solana overview with Chris McCann, he kind of touched on this too. But essentially, what you can do, let me actually go here. So this is what I'm doing. So I deposit some ETH here, and I'm borrowing dollars, right? I'm leveraged yield farming, which sounds dangerous, but you can deposit ETH, you can like leverage yield farm, stablecoins 12%, or these things. But if you go to the dashboard, you see that my borrow limit is at 84%. And you might be asking yourself, or asking me, like, isn't this dangerous? Like, what if you get liquidated, right? But the power of Apricot and the technology, and I guess the crazy thing about it is that there's this feature called Apricot Assist, where if the borrow limit reaches 95%, it will automatically delever your position for you until it gets to 90%. And you can adjust this, right? If I want to be more safe, I can go like, I can change it like whatever, right? Maybe if I'm super safe, I don't really trust it because it's a new protocol. Maybe you can be more safer like this, or like that or something. Yeah, but it's something, right? And even though the rates aren't that great, I'm not really doing this because the rates are amazing. I'm just doing this because there could be an airdrop, or there is an airdrop, and though I might not get too much, I have no idea how much I'll be airdropped. I felt like it was worth it. And bridging to Solana, great experience. Everything is super fast, everything is super cheap, and I'm bullish Solana. I don't own any Solana tokens, but it's a great ecosystem. Just because I'm on this topic of Solana, I'm just gonna go over like Marinade Finance. I think this is a pretty cool one, where you can stake your Solana on here and earn and get back a liquid derivative of staked Solana tokens called MSOL, right? So you can stake your SOL, earn MSOL, and MSOL is a Solana token that's appreciating 7% APY because it's a liquid derivative of a staked Solana token. And you can use your Marinade staked SOL on something like port.finance, which is a money market, and earn decent yield on that too. So I'm not in this, right? It's not too exciting for me personally, but just wanted to bring it to your attention, right? And also let you know that like, hey, I'm not neglecting the Solana ecosystem. I love the ecosystem. Okay, so let's talk about Avalanche, right? Because I angered some people rotating away from Avalanche 3 weeks ago, but I'm thinking about rotating back, right? Because I didn't rotate out of Avalanche because I was bearish, right? I just was more bullish Phantom, right? It's all about opportunity cost for me. And if you look at the bridging data, like Avalanche is looking pretty good. most of these days are net positive, right? And generally, like if there are more people bridging in to Avalanche than there are bridging out, it could be more bullish for the tokens itself. Who knows? Like maybe most of this is stablecoins and ETH and Bitcoin, so no one's buying the Avalanche token, right? Maybe all the whales are just farming it, but I think it's a good leading indicator. And Joe Rush, right here. Joe Rush is gonna be deployed this evening. You're gonna have to figure out like what time it is for in your time zone. But even though I missed out on Trader Joe and the Joe token has been doing okay, I still think that if I do rotate into the Avalanche ecosystem, I'm thinking about gaining exposure to the Joe token because back then, yes, I missed it, and then I'm gonna perpetually get pooped on by the community for missing out on Joe. But it's fine. It is what it is. You can't catch them all. But what's gonna happen with XJoe is that sure, previously you could stake Joe for XJoe and earn like 30% APR or APY, but with Bingo Joe and Abracadabra integrating XJoe soon, I don't know when. I never know when these things are launching on the Avalanche ecosystem. But XJoe is going to be enabled as collateral, right? Meaning that it's going to give me more utility. I often talk about utility of these tokens, right? Utility of stablecoins, utility of Bitcoin and ETH. Because if I'm holding an asset, like I better be able to do something with it, right? Because that's the power of DeFi. I don't want to hold something that just sits in my wallet. It doesn't really give me that much utility. So if I can use it as collateral, right? If I can use a yield-bearing, interest-bearing token as collateral, borrow against it, and then farm those tokens, it's going to give me more utility. So XJoe, even though I was less bullish on it back here, yes, I missed out on it, but I think it's an interesting play. And Wonderland too. I think Wonderland is interesting. And I'm in the mindset where I'm okay missing out on Wonderland if it keeps pumping, but if it dumps hard, I'm a buy. I'm a buy, right? Because I'm part of Frog Nation. Okay, so a few more things I want to touch on was the DeFi Kingdoms giveaway, right? This was a cool one. I'm really happy by like how a lot of people were like super happy or like super excited for DeFi Kingdoms because it's one of my highest conviction farms, and the price of Jewel is at all-time highs. It's pretty wild. So I just wanted to let you know that hey, Tom did respond back, right? Tom, oh god, I don't know Doc's email, but Tom did respond back, and he's gonna get the giveaway. I'm gonna have a call with him this week just to give him his NFT. I don't know what the price of this NFT is, but just wanted to let everyone know that he's gonna claim it. Also, Near offered a $800 million grant for DeFi Mindshare, DeFi Insider Program. I mean, like, if you're a farmer, like, we're just celebrating, right? Because even if you're not bullish Near, like, if they're going to give you free tokens, like, you might as well take it. So, there's a lot going on. I feel like 2021, 2022 is just a good time to be a farmer, right? Because all these ecosystems, they have a lot of money. They want your liquidity, and they're just going to pay you to bridge over. Okay, so that's the end of the video. I guess to wrap it up, I wanted to quickly touch on my private Discord, right? We're almost at 1,000 members. It's been great, and I just wanted to give like a brief teaser on like what's available there in case you were interested. So I have this notion. This isn't the only thing. There's also Discord too, where I post every day, but this is kind of where you can get a view into like what I do, or like how what I'm considering. So I'm not gonna go over this in too much detail, but like my top holdings, like what I'm farming, what I'm considering, and like what I'm researching, right? Stuff like that. And then in the tool section, you can look at my past videos to look at, hey, like what have I done in the past? So I guess you can check this like for my track record, but I was early into Harmony, I was early into Phantom. I feel like I essentially like research like 7 days a week, so I feel like I have a better pulse on the markets than a lot of other people do. So this is just like a quick teaser I guess on like what's available. I post videos twice a week. I do a live stream once a month. I post on Discord every day. So this Discord isn't meant for beginners, right? I mean, you can join as a beginner, and I'm sure you can learn more quickly through the Discord than just like trying to do it yourself. But I'm not going to make tutorial videos in the Discord, right? I'm more targeting people that already know how to farm, that want to like up their farming game and I guess be early onto trends. So if this is interesting, check out the private Discord. Link will be in the description below. I don't run ads on my channel, right? I'm not a paid shill. So, I have a different business model where, other people, they do clickbait, they make money from ads and referral links. I get paid up based on like how much alpha I provide. So that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope, you claim these airdrops and have fun farming out there.